would.
He had inside knowledge, and the fact that he said what he did a couple of weeks ago really makes what Stephen A. said one of the most prescient comments of this entire season. I am blown away by what I'm seeing from Coach Prime and his team. It is remarkable to watch, Stephen A.
He's been absolutely spectacular as far as I'm concerned, because I say that because, Shay, I'm just chiming in here. Listen, they came into the season predicted to finish 11th in their conference. We were questioning whether or not they were going to win 4 games. They are 5-2 after 7 games. They got a leading candidate for the Heisman in Travis Hunter, assuming that he's going to be healthy enough to play a few more games this season. I know this guy, GT, out of Boise State, is no joke. I mean, this brother can run spectacularly with the football. He opened the season, I think the second game of the season, they went up against #1 ranked Oregon. This brother ran for 192 yards, so we got to pay attention to what we're seeing from that brother at Boise State. But in the end, when you look at Travis Hunter and the way that he plays, when you look at Shedeur Sanders and how he's been balling, when you look at the fact that they're 5-2 and that they could end up being in a bowl game if Deion Sanders gets this team to 8 or 9 wins and they are in a bowl game, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at the National Coach of the Year.
Shay, real quick before you jump in here, Stephen, I just have to say this has been a very good day for you. It has. You haven't taken any L's. A lot of good prognosticating, and I'm just really impressed with you today, both in the NFL and college football. So I wanted to give you that. I'm glad I could come back to this moment. Shannon?
Well, thank you. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I think for the first time, they start to look like a team. They can run the football. They can stop the run. They're doing a better job of protecting Shedeur. They can get after the opposing team's quarterback. Special teams are solid. And so that's what I've been most impressed with. I think the thing for me is that when I saw them against UCF, and they went down there, that was their most impressive win to date since Coach Prime was there. And then they came so close. They had the lead against Kansas State. Kansas State comes back and takes the lead and win the game late. Man, that would have been something. Had they won that game, probably would have been ranked. Now, they have a very tough opponent at home this week in Cincinnati. It's going to be very interesting if they win this game, go to 6-2. Paul, could they possibly sneak into the top 25, which would be something very, very impressive, given where they were just 2 years ago. I think they won 1 game, and here they are just 2 years later. Coach Prime has them at 6-2. But I've been very impressed with the job, the turnaround in which he's done at Colorado, because now all of a sudden they can do things that you expect a good quality football team to be able to do.
Shay, what's so remarkable right now, I mean, they are still in the race for the Big 12. Now, why is that important? If somehow they can pull an upset or two, and it's very possible based on what we're seeing, and they get in that championship game and then pull the shocker of all shockers, and I think that's a long shot, but it's possible, then we're actually talking CFP. Now, I know that's a little bit getting ahead of my skis here, and it doesn't take away or change the conversation about Stephen A. and Coach of the Year. I think that is dead on. But everything is in front of them, and after that Thursday night game when they looked so poor and barely pulled it out, I didn't think they could get to 4 wins. So this is one of the great turnarounds we have seen.
Yeah, I mean, if I were teaching a class here, Matt, on hot takes, I would just say be flexible, be willing to completely reverse whatever you said the previous week without equivocation, because I can't tell you how many times I've done that, even on the show, because but it's the nature of college football right now, and I know the fans out there, want to hold everybody accountable, and good for you. Welcome to it. But it doesn't bother me, because I think you have to evaluate in the moment. And this is the most fluid season I've ever seen. I know we'll get to Colorado. I don't think anybody thought they looked like a bowl team 7 weeks ago. Same for a number of the other programs we've talked about.
Yeah.
But it is the most obvious reason, the portal. NIL, it's changing so many different things, which we knew, but I didn't think it to this degree.
I stand by this next comment, and it's something that I've said for the last 3 to 4 weeks, and maybe I'm missing on it, and I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong, but I still believe, Paul, that since Coach Prime, Coach Sanders, Deion Sanders has backed off a little bit,
right,
the football team has come on in the last 3 weeks. And you got to give him all the credit. You have to.
I do, and I felt like it was about 7 weeks ago. I was involved in some big to do with him, just for not that it was real, but it was just he said, she said, and I don't know if I've really heard much from him since he started going after singling out reporters, doing stuff like that. I think he has handled himself the way the Deion Sanders I've always known and admired. I think he got a little bit too defensive of certain things. And it's not a good exercise. Just coach your football team, embrace them, make them feel special because they're playing for you, and that's what we're seeing. And it is a remarkable story. And I think the media is now going to start gravitating and pulling back like they did before last season. But I think that's also been advantageous for him. And Matt, you know what it's like. Can you imagine having to entertain like he had to entertain at the beginning of this season and last season? I mean,
Right.
when the A-listers show up, you just can't like wave at them. You have to make sure their G5 is met by a limousine with caviar. So I mean, you can't leave Shay Shay standing by himself. So. So it is amazing. I think he's just coaching football right now, and you know what? He's a really good coach.
It's fun to watch. I mean, it's fun to watch, especially when Shay Shay shows up. If Shay Shay's there, like throw out the records because the Shay Shay factor in celebrity world is everything.
Beat Cincinnati during the college game day this morning. Nick Saban had high praise for Coach Prime's squad. I think the team to watch out for is Colorado. One thing that Deion told me this summer was he finally had two coordinators that believe like he believes. And now, they're going to discredit, Cincinnati's not that good. Because I noticed anytime he beat a team, they're not that good. When they lose, well, if what he said he was, he should have won this team. Because remember, they went on the road, beat UCF, which was ranked. Well, UCF ain't that good. And they were like number 2 team in the country as far as rush yards. Did a great job on them. Cincinnati won that ball game. They're 6-2 now. They're bowl eligible. I think, and when he took over Ocho, that was a 1-12, 1-11 squad. And in 2 years, he has them bowl eligible. And, he did a lot of it, through the portal. But you can't do that. He's like, look, I know the type of player that I'm looking for. And guys that have already been to college, so if they know what it's like to be in college, they know to study, they know how to study, go to study hall, they know the training schedule. So they're a little farther along than guys that are coming out of high school. But I'm happy for him. I'm proud of him. I'm gonna hit him up. I'm gonna hit him up tomorrow. I'm not gonna bother him tonight, but because I'm afraid he might pick up the phone and then he'll forget to celebrate his own victory. He start going in on me. So I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm gonna call him once we get offline because I don't trust him.
But hey, that was a good game, man. They goddamn Travis Hunter special, man. Horn,
for sure.
Shador. I mean, they were able to run the ball efficient tonight. They were able to run the ball. Listen, all 3 phases of the game: special teams, offense, defense, the interior. Now, I thought it was going to be a shootout the way, both teams scored. It was 14-14. And then, the defense kind of got it together. Now, what they do need to do is if you're playing a better team, they allow Cincinnati to come back towards the end of the game and made me a little uncomfortable watching. I'm sure that's something Prime would want to discuss with them and trying to finish the game strong just as well as you did in the second and third quarters where you kind of dominated, where it was like it was punt, punt, punt. Like you had almost 4 series where you had points. You put up points, whether it be touchdowns, whether it be field goals. Everything kind of slacked off on the tail end of the game.
I was surprised, Ocho, that they had a 4th down and they were on like the 45-yard line. And they didn't go for it. I thought he would go for it there and put the nail in the coffin. He punted the ball, and then they ended up in then they had another situation. I think the biggest thing is what he's going to be, and he's going to be proud of his team because I thought they played well today. And it's not about running the football, trying to get 7-8 yards a carry. Sometimes it's about just being balanced. Run the ball just well enough that you can play action off. And that's what they got today. They didn't average 4 yards a carry, but they ran the ball well enough that they could play action off it, and they had some lanes to throw the ball. I thought Shador threw the ball extremely well tonight. But that's the biggest thing. And sometimes when you get those 3rd and 1s, you gotta get those. You gotta get those, Ocho, because they had 2 situations at a 3rd and 1 and a 3rd and 2, and they didn't get either. And so that's the situation where you want to put the game away. We can end all the suspense. We don't have to worry about anything like this because we're going to keep the ball for another 3-4 minutes. You're down 17. So by the time you get the ball back, if you get the ball back with 4 minutes and you can get 3 scores, well, we deserve to lose. But that would have been an opportunity for them to put the ball away, the game away. And also on the third down, I thought he would have ran it to make them burn that final timeout because you know you're going to get kicked the field goal. You got that in your back pocket. I don't want them to have any timeouts. I don't want them to be able to stop the clock unless they get out of bounds. I don't want them to be able to throw the ball to the middle of the field and take a timeout. So that was, other than that, I thought this team played really well. They missed a couple of tackles. I'm sure he's going to talk about I don't know if they meet tomorrow. I don't know how they do it in college. Hell, it's been so damn long since I've been in college. I don't even know. But I think he's going to tell them guys, when we get there, that's as far as he goes. That's as far as he goes. And no yak, no yards after contact, no yards after catch, none of that. When we arrive on the scene, that's it. That's the end of that play for them. But they played well, Ocho. Yeah. They played well. Shedeur threw the ball well. 25 of 30, 323, 2 touchdowns. They ran the ball 40 attempts, 123 yards. Obviously, Trav was 9 for $153, 2 touchdowns. Horn was 5 for 76. Shedeur should have had another touchdown because he got it called back. Remember, he pieced the dude out, and they called unsportsmanlike conduct. Yeah. But other than that, I thought they played well, Ocho. Colorado looked really, really good. Who they got next, Ash? They got Texas Tech and Texas Tech. Texas Tech lost.
Well, they're going to be throwing.
They lost to TCU, and they lost last week to Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to be
throwing the ball all over the place.
Oh, they're going to put the ball up in there like 40, 50 times now. That's what Texas Tech do. They're going to put the ball up a bunch of times, and you got to be sound. They're going to make some plays, but just like when they make their plays, you just can't overreact. Don't try to overcompensate and try to get out of character and try to do something and get it all back. Well, I'm going to make a play here and give up an even bigger play. But congratulations to the CU Buffaloes, 34-23 winners over the Cincinnati Bearcats. And for the first time since 2016, the Colorado Buffaloes are bowl eligible. So you know what that means? We going bowling. Congratulations, Coach Prime and the CU, the city. They're very, very deserving. But this is not this is the start now. They're not satisfied with just winning 6 games. We got that in our back pocket. So I'll be able to hold on. It's like if I'm playing blackjack. Okay, I'm already up. The money that I came to the table with. So now I'm going to stuff that away to make sure I don't lose that. So they can't take these 6 wins away from me. Now let me get greedy. Yeah. I want sweepstakes. I want to win the Powerball, the Mega Millions, the Cash 4, the Fantasy, and the Cash 3. Yeah, I'm greedy. You know what I'm saying, Ocho? I'm greedy. I'm trying to get sweepstakes.
You know what makes it even better? When you look at the landscape around college football and understanding players want to go to teams where you can get the exposure, obviously IL money.
Yes.
Going from 1-11 or 1-12, whatever it may have been, into having a turnaround this fast and improving a team this fast, what do you think everybody's gonna want to come to? What do you think everybody's gonna want to come to? Because they know all the eyes are gonna be on Colorado. When Shedeur leaves, when Travis Hunter leaves,